Peter Ndlovu played as a striker for prestigious teams such as Coventry City, Birmingham, Sheffield United, and of course, Mamelodi Sundowns. He made over 100 appearances for Zimbabwe, and when it came to hanging up his boots, there was only one home for him, Klorkop, in the role of team manager.
Loyalty to the club, work ethics, and also maybe the belief from the president that I can do a good job.
Season have made it obvious that Highfield Road is the soccer home of a new and rare talent, a hardened international.
The age of kicking the ball around the streets.
I think I still hold the longest of the African players in the English league. I think I spent about 16 years there. I'm glad to see other players coming into the fold. John Obi Mikel's probably 10 years now there. Drogba, it was good for me to be part of it, and I'm proud I served well and I presented myself well, not only for my country, but it was also for Africa at large.
Peter was imported from the UK, where they called him Ndlovu, and added to the Brazilian ranks in 2004, and he helped Sundowns net 2 back-to-back league titles.
At the time, the president was just taking over the club, the full control of the club. The coach, who was here, Paul Doleza, also phoned me himself in the UK while I was still with Sheffield. And after that, I thought, okay, these people are serious with football. I had also consultation with my friends, Brian Baloyi, Jabulani men. They were new at the club, and they advised me that, look, it would be good to grow with the club. The players that were here, they were actually very fantastic. They were willing to work for each other. They were willing to work for the club and give back to the club. So it was easy for me to adapt.
Ndlovu's adaptation skills were tested when he decided to rejoin Sundowns in a different role as team manager, a role vastly different to that of a player.
It's totally different, you know. I'm enjoying it. How I looked at it as a player is totally different to how I look at it now. I have a big part to play, so advise the players on what's good for them. Also, obviously, being part of the management, rules and regulations. When we take that stuff from the management and from the player, you mix them. I'm the link. I've got a big responsibility, but being a player before, it's easier.
That link role that Peter plays means that he has to be available to both team management and players from the crack of dawn.
My job is simple because on a day-to-day, we have our meeting in the morning whereby we know exactly what we are doing, what the technical team is going to do, then present it to the players that this is what we are doing. I'm in charge of clearly writing the program, whether it's for the week, for a fortnight or for a month. But the important thing is liaising with people that are involved. My job is actually managing the whole system together. It's unbelievable the response that you get from the players, from the management, and the respect.
One of the key management talents that Peter has is dealing with big-name players and solving the issues that they may have on any front. Ndlovu lets us in on the secret to his success.
It's being firm. I think the bottom line is respect. Whether you're big or small, I cannot want the player to respect me if I don't respect them. So it's not who you are here, it's a job at hand. It's good because we liaise in that way. Also, for me to tell them about the good that I have done as a player, you know, so that they can copy that. When we try and they talk to the players to manage them, we tell them of the good so that tomorrow they can say, you know, my manager was Peter, he was an ex-footballer, he knew his stuff. Okay, I worked under Coach Pizzo and he was an ex-footballer and this is what I gained from him. I worked under Mike. The environment is all football. You could have good players in your team, but they don't eat right, they don't train right, scientific things are not applied, then the team suffers. So here I can see things are developing right for Sundowns, and we have football people that have been into football, people that can help develop football and develop these youngsters.
The development of these youngsters comes at a price, time. Being the manager of Mamelodi Sundowns means you need to be available to the players, coaches and management 24/7.
It is a 24-hour job. My phone is constantly on because I work with the players. I'm the first line. If a player is in trouble or is struggling, is not very well, I'm the first line. It's being available every time. If a player can call you and say, okay, I've just had a puncture, the support that I give to the player, I should be there. You know, it's not only about us on the field. Off the field also, we have to make sure that boys are fine. So it's a challenge case. 24 hours, you must be available. So if you don't have time and you're not available, just forget about managing Sundowns.
One of the most difficult responsibilities that Peter and his team face is team movement, an exercise that they've managed to get down to a fine art.
Once all the things are booked. For me, it's easy. Just get to the airport. When I get to the airport, I check in the team and make sure that by the time when the players come, we try and simplify a lot of things for the players so that when they go on the field, they're carrying less weight. That's how we do it at this club.
Being the all-time leading scorer for Zimbabwe, Ndlovu's influence is going to be invaluable to the players as they tackle the rigors of the Champions League.
Champions League, it's a big challenge. I've played in that. You can only relate what you've gone through, the hostility of going to places and the intimidation. For me, I'll relate that to the players to expect that. But at the end of the day, you are judged on your football. It's survival of the fittest and the strongest at heart. You go to places and they don't give you water, they don't give you this. But at the end, you know you focused on your job. Once you focus on your job, then you're okay.
Peter's got full focus on his new game, that as team manager. And as he was as a player, he's determined to improve his skills, management skills this time round.
Being in the environment before, it has helped me to just adapt and know the culture. It's hard for someone who probably hasn't been into football to adapt to all those things. But so far so good, I'm happy and I'll keep improving. The club itself has got good structure, so the way we are going, so let's hope that we can improve on certain areas, because you never say to yourself, I've reached the ceiling. You must be able to go through that ceiling and see what's beyond. So that's my vision for the club, and I want to keep improving as a manager. I want to take criticism, I want to take this and that so that I can be a better person tomorrow.